Hello, I am Romain Rolland, a writer, thinker, and pacifist, deeply committed to the ideals of humanity and peace. In my lifetime, during the turbulent years of the early 20th century, I bore witness to the devastation and tragedy that war brings. I once expressed my disdain for it with these words: "I find war detestable, but those who praise it without participating in it even more so." Let us explore this statement, how it applied in my era, and why it remains as relevant, if not more so, in your time today. How it applied. Then I lived during one of the most violent periods of human history. The First World War had engulfed Europe and much of the world in a storm of destruction and suffering. Millions of lives were lost in the trenches, and countless families were torn apart. Yet, amidst this tragedy, I observed a troubling hypocrisy. Many of those who championed war, who glorified it as a noble pursuit, did so from a safe distance. They were not the soldiers in the trenches, enduring the mud, the blood, and the unspeakable horrors of combat. They were politicians, intellectuals, and members of the elite, crafting rhetoric about honor and patriotism while remaining untouched by the consequences of their advocacy. Their detachment from the reality of war fueled my condemnation. For me, the glorification of violence by those who had never faced its brutal reality was not only hypocritical but deeply immoral. It perpetuated cycles of destruction without accountability, leaving the most vulnerable to pay the ultimate price. How it applies. Now, although my time has passed, the dynamics I spoke of endure in your modern age. War may have evolved in its methods and technologies, but its essence, violence, suffering, and loss, remains unchanged. And so too does the hypocrisy I decried. Today, there are still those who celebrate conflict from the safety of their privilege. Politicians advocate for military interventions while sending others' sons and daughters to fight. Media pundits cheer for aggression, fueling division, while they themselves remain far removed from the front lines. Even more troubling, your age has added new dimensions to this issue. War is no longer confined to physical battlefields. The digital age has created arenas of cyber warfare, disinformation campaigns, and cultural conflict. Yet again, those who incite these conflicts often do so from positions of comfort and safety, while ordinary people bear the consequences: misinformation, division, and destabilization of societies. A call to reflection. My words are not merely a critique of those who perpetuate conflict. They are a plea for accountability and introspection. Whether in my time or yours, we must ask, who truly pays the price for war, whether physical or informational? Who reaps the rewards? And how do we ensure that those who advocate for conflict are held responsible for its consequences? Each of us has a role to play. We must challenge those who glorify violence without understanding its cost. We must question the narratives that seek to divide us and recognize the humanity that binds us together. Peace is not simply the absence of war. It is the presence of justice, accountability, and compassion. Information, warfare, and the modern struggle today, the battlefields have expanded to include the realm of information. Propaganda, disinformation, and manipulation are tools of modern conflict, often wielded by those who face no personal consequences for the division they sow. These wars are fought not with bullets, but with narratives, seeking to control perceptions and shape realities. In this context, my words take on new urgency. The detestable act of glorifying conflict now includes the spread of lies and fear for personal or political gain. To combat this, we must be vigilant, informed, and courageous in seeking the truth. Information is power, but only when it is wielded with integrity. Conclusion. As I said, I find war detestable, but even more so, I condemn those who praise it without participating in it. This sentiment is not only a critique, but a call to action, for peace, accountability, and truth. Let us honor the sacrifices of those who suffer the consequences of war by refusing to glorify conflict and by holding its proponents accountable. Let us build a world where peace is not merely an ideal, but a shared reality. For more on how these themes resonate in the modern age, visit information-warfare.com. Together, we can confront the challenges of our time with clarity, courage, and a commitment to truth. Thank you.